Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our board meeting today. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we can please start off with a roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Here.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Present, able, and willing.
Ms. Alvariano.
Here.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Here.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Here. Okay, can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're moving on to item 1.3, approval of the board agenda. If I can please get a motion to approve the board agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano.
Yes, aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, today on closed session items, we have 2.1, public employee appointments / employment, government code section 54957. 2.2, public employee performance evaluation, superintendent under government code section 54957. 2.3, potential litigation under government section code 54956.8 and 54956.9. Do we have any public comments regarding closed session items?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion to adjourn to closed session?
I make a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval. Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano.
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, we'll see everybody afterwards. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're reconvening back into open session. We don't have anything to report out as nothing was voted on. Moving on to 5.1, approval of consent agenda items 5.2 to 5.4. If I can please get a motion to approve.
So motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, we move on to reports, information, and correspondence. 6.1 is anybody here from SRTA?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Heather Varela. I am the SRTA Vice President. Teachers are looking forward to a much needed spring break, as I know a lot of administration probably feels the same way. We are finishing up our iReady benchmark testing for the year this past week, or finishing it all up. And we are prepping students for the SBAC testing, and that is going to start April 12th when we come back from spring break. We'll have about a week, and then we'll start testing. Excited about our first elementary school cross-country meet. It's going to be here at GV tomorrow. Starts at 4. The elementary school kids are really happy to have sports back, and I know that for a fact because I'm coaching at New Republic. I just came from the SRTA Executive Board meeting. We are really happy to hear the reports given by our facilities rep and are grateful to have a voice on that committee. There is also a huge trend going around with most sites of student behavior issues. It is spring. A lot of it's occurring, though, outside of the classroom, and then it becomes teacher managed. This is becoming an issue because it's taking away valuable instructional time. Last but most importantly, we're eager to begin negotiations, and we stand behind our amazing negotiations team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We always appreciate your comments. Anybody here from CSEA or comments that were submitted? Okay.
Says, good evening, everyone. As we are approaching spring break, we would like to thank all classified staff for all their hard work and dedication to our students. Also, would like to thank all teachers, administrators, and the district office for all their support. Thank you, Juana Casillas, CSEA President.
Okay, thank you. And I definitely want to appreciate and say thank you to all the staff. And I'm sure the spring break coming up is well deserved and get that chance to re-energize and start fresh to finish the year strong. So thank you. Moving on to school spotlight. Are they here? Oh, send a video. Okay, we're gonna do a video for. Okay.
We're going to do our best to get the volume.
Hi, my name is Leos, and at SRUSD, there's a lot of fun stuff here. There are nice principals, principal's recess, and the lunch is really good here, and there are really nice yard duties. Go.
Hello, my name is Victor Lopez, and in Santa Rita, there's fun stuff. We had a book fair. In the book fair, there was nice books, and there were not too much cost because they were like low, and a lot of people came to the book fair to buy nice books.
Hi, my name is Julian Grotto. I'm in the 5th grade, and at Santa Rita School, there's a bunch of good things going on, especially cross country. We've been doing this for about a month now, and we have our first race this Thursday, and next month it turns into track.
Hi, my name is Leonie, and I'm in 4th grade, and I'm going to be talking about the talent show that's coming up. There's going to be people singing, people showing off what they can do, maybe showing their property. Hello, my name is Jimena, and I'm in 4th grade, and you enter the tickets by being responsible and by helping pick up trash and helping teachers help like cleaning up or wiping out the table at the cafeteria.
Hi, I'm Omar Cardenas, and I'm going to be talking about PE and music.
PE is really fun. There's a lot of activities you can do, as just like soccer, basketball, and run a lot. And the PE teacher is really, really fun. And music, the music teacher is really fun. We're right now learning how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Okay. Any comments from the board?
Oh, I'd love to know when the talent show is. I think it's been a long time since I've attended one of those.
Anybody else? No, I just want to say it looks exciting that everything's kind of opening up and the activities that really help to help kids kind of learn about themselves through sports, through arts, through music, whatever that case is. That I think it was needed, especially when everything was shut down. So thankful for that. Moving on to the superintendent's cabinet. First, start off with Director of MOTF, Mr. Victor Sandoval.
Well, good evening, everybody. Is that okay? Can you hear me? Okay, great. I'm sorry. I've been having some technical difficulties in the past few weeks, so yeah, please forgive me. Anyways, well, good evening, everybody. I think in the past few weeks, we've been super duper busy, and I just want to kind of touch up on a couple of highlights in my department. So this week, we were notified that the HVIP, California HVIP, has opened up their grant program for a electric bus, and I think we have a pretty good chance at it, and I'm going to be applying for it. So hopefully, cross your fingers and wish me luck on that one. We did have our fire inspections for Santa Rita, La Jolla, McKinnon, and New Republic, and we passed. We have some reports to file, but other than that, I think we're looking good. So far, so good for the year, and our whole district is actually okay with the fire marshals. We did have our subcommittee and facilities committee, which I'm going to be touching on later on today. The cell tower meeting, we did have a cell tower meeting with Melissa and Rosa, and I think we have a pretty good grasp on what we need to do next, and we'll probably be bringing you up to speed on that a little bit later. We did get permission to get onto the Esperanza site finally after several months of asking, and so we'll be able to do that next week. So that I'm kind of excited to do that. So because this brings us up to our next hurdle that we can file a phase 1 study with Department of Toxic Substance Control and California Department of Education. And that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, thank you for the update, and also thank you to the property owners who finally gave us that flexibility to kind of move forward in that. So thank you as well. Any questions or comments from the board?
Just thank you for all your work, and I think you have a great team with Don and Barry, and so we're excited, and it's up to Rosa to find the money, but we're excited. Thank you.
No pressure.
No pressure. Any other board comments or questions? No? Okay, thank you for your update. Moving on to Director of Nutritional Services, Mr. Chuck Helm.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just one item from our department today in regards to our upcoming CACFP administrative review. I had a Zoom meeting yesterday with the auditor for the review, and it was a very productive meeting. We went over expectations, other details that regarding the review that she's going to want to see. This specific review is focusing on the after-school program at Santa Rita. And while I anticipate it somewhat less intrusive than a full AR, I also understand that it's the auditor's job basically to find something. So I'll be doing the best I can to keep the findings to a minimum and not fiscally impactful.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Okay. I do. I have a question. As you know, I love stakeholder input, and just for a possibility for next year's planning, have we ever considered allowing students to be taste testers for what lunches are selected for the lunch program?
Yeah, and it's actually something we've done in the past. Obviously, the last 2 years, we haven't done stuff like that, but it's definitely something we can bring back. No, not a problem.
And I will just say, as someone who's led that, the issue is that the kids don't agree. So been the student council rep where we tried to get the kids complain about the lunch and we tried to get them, but then the reps were in violent disagreement about what they wanted more of and what they wanted less of. So it's a good idea. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's very true. At the same time, sometimes it's nice to at least try it, but you're not wrong there, Sarah.
Mr. Patel, were you going to say something or?
Well, I was going to volunteer to also test, but not anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your update. Moving on to Chief Business Officer, Ms. Rosa Zamudio.
Good evening, everyone. And talking about money, right? I want to talk to you about these 2 new ed codes or regulations that are coming up on the next fiscal year. And I think I mentioned it to you back then, but I just want to repeat it again or mention this again because it is coming up very soon. As you know, I get ready for budget development in April and May. So the next budget, which is the July 1st budget, needs to be adopted in June. So it's coming up pretty soon. And pretty much these 2 ed codes, the first one is that any ending fund balance from the LCAP needs to be set aside for LCAP purposes. This is new coming up. The good news is that the district has been doing this for the last 2 to 3 years. So we're years ahead of the game. We don't have to worry about that. The other new one that they've been talking about it, and it's going to be official for July 1st, is that any ending fund balance that we have needs to be committed. So what we've been doing in the past, and you know, because I bring this on the PowerPoints, is that I bring that slide, remember, where it says this is our ending fund balance. This is how much we set aside for the 17% reserve, and then we set aside for future expenses or increases on CalPERS, CalSTRS, or OPEB liability, increases on special ed, and so on. So now what the state is requiring is the district to have that we can still do that, but we need to do a board resolution. And this is when we need to get together to set up our priorities and see how much we want to assign for what specific purpose. And if, like Victor mentioned, we have projects coming up, this is a great time to get together and say, this is how much money we need to set aside for this project. This is how much money we need to set aside for future expenses on benefits. And all of those assignments or amounts need to come back to the board and have a board policy and then get adopted. So that's pretty much new. We just need to figure out how to set up those priorities working as a team. I'm open for recommendations. I am going to give you my recommendations as well coming up. And that's pretty much what's coming up and what I wanted to share with you. Thank you.
So that item that you mentioned last, when is when would the resolution have to get passed by to kind of know the timeline a little bit as far as that?
Yeah, so we need to do it sometime in May. We need to do it before, the perfect scenario will be before we adopt the budget in June. So more likely would be May, the latest. I mean, the soonest the best, but not later than June.
We'll do a couple of items as discussion and information before we do that, because we'll need to discuss to determine those priorities and where we want to do that.
Okay, that was going to be my next question, so we get enough time to kind of figure that out. Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board? No? Okay, thank you for your update. Now, Director of Special Education and Student Services, Ms. Melanie Grundy.
Good evening, everyone. We have our district staff, myself included, 4 of us, going finally to safety care training the week after spring break. Really excited to go get this training and then come back to be an official trainer for safety care and be able to train our special education teachers, service providers, paraprofessionals, as well as some targeted training for our bus drivers around student behavior and just behavior de-escalation strategies. So looking forward to that. I was getting together with that team of trainers this morning, kind of strategizing potential training dates on certain Saturdays and other opportunities for after school, because the training is 16 hours total to be fully certified. So we're excited about that. Today, I had the opportunity to do a training for our SPED staff where we focused on our transition meetings for IEPs, really looking at what should be discussed in there, how to present student present levels, how to discuss data as a team, and then how to transfer those records over to the receiving school site where that student would be going for next year. We also discussed end of school closeout and just strategically thinking through IEPs, right? If there's an IEP due in August, holding it now when we know present levels and the student can go into the next school year really prepared with a solid IEP in place. Have had meetings with principals on our attendance data and just really looking at creating conferences with families where students are truant, and reaching out and working with our program A2A to make sure those conferences are happening and that those are then triggering letters where needed for our attendance. Also really excited to be bringing you some special education updated job descriptions tonight. So we'll talk more about that, but really just excited that we've been able to update those to what our staff are doing in those positions. And then just again, recruitment. So really working on hiring SLPs, SPED teachers, paraprofessionals, and even some occupational therapists. So been going with HR to all of the job fairs we can get our hands on and just really talking up our amazing district and all the job opportunities that we have. So that's it for me. Are there any questions?
Any questions or comments?
Well, I'm just really excited that you're excited about all the training.
I'm sorry. I am.
I am really excited because, special education, and I'm no expert, at all. But I know that it could be a difficult process, especially for parents to navigate. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you revamping, addressing training and procedures. I really do. And I think I'm really excited that our district is taking all these proactive steps. So I am genuinely excited and I'm looking forward to, our students getting served better. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
I'm excited that he's excited that, but I'm also excited too.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the update.
Absolutely.
Director of Parent and Family and Community Engagement, Dr. Summer Prather-Smith.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, so we'll make this short and sweet. I want to start off by thanking Salinas City Elementary, who gave up 15 slots to the bike event that was held at Pebble Beach this last week. Excuse me. There was an opportunity for 45 students to go to Pebble Beach and participate in an event where they got to leave with a free bicycle. And when I called to sign us up for that, Salinas City had beat us to the punch and taken the 45 slots. I was able to reach out to them and they very kindly gave us 15 of those. So it was great to take 15 students out to Pebble Beach on their first real field trip, because these are second and third graders. So they haven't yet had the experience because of COVID to really have a trip. So it was great to take them out there. We got to take some pictures in front of the beach, and they got to attend this event where they all got a free bike and helmet. So thank you to Salinas City for sharing those 15 slots with us. Today, we were able to deliver to every site 2 COVID test kits for every family. So every family will be getting 2 boxes, 4 tests, 2 of which we're asking them voluntarily to take before they return from spring break. So the Friday and then the Sunday. And then 2 additional kits that they can use between now and the end of the year if their students are experiencing symptoms. So that letter and information went out to parents, and then the COVID kits will go out to families by Friday. So we're excited for that, for the health and safety of our staff. By the way, this isn't COVID. I've tested many times. I also want to say Our shoes that fit order went in, and we should have 208 pairs of shoes being delivered to us, hopefully the week after we get back from spring break. Thank you to all of our sites for taking the time to accurately measure every student's foot to make sure that the shoes we get in for them are the right size. So we're excited for that. It looks like we'll maybe have some media attention, so I'll keep you posted when we do the shoe distribution in hopes that that continues to spark the campaign as well. And then last but not least, I'm excited to be working with Carla Caliz and Esther Medina, who are from the Migrant Education Program, that have volunteered to host 2 parent workshops for us that have been really successful countywide. Esther Medina will be doing a Spanish and English series on true colors, which if you've ever done the true colors, it's really an opportunity to families, for parents and children to learn how they their personality works best and what works together and what conflicts in those personality types, and how they can have better communication as a family based on these 4 true colors. So it's gold, orange, blue, and green, and what those mean. And then Carla Caliz will be doing a parent's guide to college and career, and really providing our parents with some information about what those transitions look like from elementary to middle, middle to high school, and high school on to college and career. And both of those will be offered in Spanish and English. So thank you.
Okay, questions or comments from the board?
Well, could you share some of those pictures from the bike event?
Yep, I have them ready to share.
And, I'd love to reach out to Salinas City Elementary, thanking them also for giving up their slots. I know there's just so much need everywhere, so I think it's a big gesture.
I agree.
Also on the shoe distribution, thank you to everyone who contributed to that. And I'm glad, you took the lead to make that happen. And, could you keep us posted of that event? Because I'd love to see the kids receiving those shoes. And I think it could be a good, especially since we're getting media attention, a good opportunity so other schools can see what Santa Rita is doing and maybe implement those programs as well.
Absolutely, I agree. I will for sure.
Thank you, Summer.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
I'm just excited. The families are doing the colors training. If you guys have not done it, it's incredibly powerful. And I've also worked in districts where they did it as a staff development thing so that it helped the staff work better together, because it does a great job of identifying what people's triggers are that really, really, really annoy them. So you know not to do that with that particular person, or how to make somebody happy and make your work environment a lot easier. So it's really powerful.
I agree. I'm excited to bring it to our parents.
Okay, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Ms. Donna Coney.
Good evening. As we are finishing up, as SRTA stated, we're finishing up our 3rd iReady benchmark this week. Our PLC teams are also slowly getting stronger throughout the year. And today it was exciting. Both middle schools shared with me some of their PLC team notes. It's very exciting to see the data-driven conversations taking place on Wednesdays as they're reflecting on the needs of their students. Monday, we had our curriculum council meeting. And in the meeting, and thank you, Sarah was there, and thank you for your input, Sarah. In the meeting, we shared information about how our PLC teams and restorative practice initiatives, as well as our A2A attendance programs, all interrelate supporting students. Monday evening, we had our sub locker room facilities meeting with our PE teachers. And thank you, Andrew, for attending from the middle schools. Victor and Don shared with the subcommittee locker room ideas, and the committee provided feedback in their nice wish list. Rosa might find the money. This afternoon, our TK expansion team meeting took place. We will be meeting weekly, discussing and mapping out the needs for the start of the school year. What a great team meeting that was. Summer Academy will be running June 6th through July 14th, complementing last year's structure. We have started collecting names of staff interested in working at Summer Academy this last week. And after spring break, we will start sending out flyers for student interests and to families and students. And last but not least, this last week or so, First Tee has officially kicked off at both our middle schools.
Okay, awesome news. Questions or comments from the board?
Donna, can you explain what blocks they're going to do in summer school, like how long the periods are going to be and that kind of thing?
We're analyzing that now. It was 2 hours blocks last year. We're looking at the feedback of the interest of what the teachers are interested in providing and where that balance is, whether it's going to be an hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes. It was a little bit long for some last time. And so we're structuring that out still as we speak. Maybe not quite 2 hours this time, maybe a little smaller based on various feedback from last year and also feedback coming in now with the signups.
That was just my remembrance from last year that people are talking about maybe shortening up the time period for the summer.
Yeah, exactly. We're really trying to take a deep dive listening to the voices of last year and what people are bringing to the table this year with their new ideas.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource, Becky Moore. Becky.
Thank you. So I'm going to start with some really great news, which is that our COVID cases and testing are continuing to decline rapidly. So we're continuously monitoring that. Celeste in our HR office is doing a great job coordinating with Summer, who makes our flyers because she's a wizard at it, and the CNAs to reduce hours for our testing as needed, but still take personal appointments with families and staff if they have needs in between those testing clinics. So that's been great, and we hope that that is the trend that continues. Last week, a team of us, Donna and Melanie and I believe, started some initial conversations with our middle school administrators about master planning. Really did a look at teachers' credentials and scheduling and assignments process, as well as talking about alignment of academic courses in the district for the core versus the varying electives that are offered at each middle school, so that there is some consistency in the program, educational program we offer, but also each school's ability to still be unique in the things that they are known for and offer for our students. So we're excited to continue working on that, also taking into consideration, of course, special education needs. And we'll be continuing to bring Nicole and Jennifer into the conversation too, as we're talking about the CalPads, back-end course mapping and descriptions. So we're going to continue working together on that. We have our MCOE job fair next week during spring break, but we do have some administrators like Melanie. Actually, Melanie, I think, is unavailable. She's got Peter tapping in for her on this one, who are going to join in. It is still virtual, unfortunately, but MCOE usually is one of our best events. And so we're looking forward to talking to some potential teaching candidates at that fair, and continuing to plan for next year. So I'll be working on developing a draft calendar and getting that out to our SRTA and CSEA units soon, as well as our administrators to get some eyes on that, working in alignment with what the high school district is sharing with me, and making sure we wait to approve until after they have finalized theirs. Thank you.
I saw the draft last night.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board?
You know, once again, it's frustrating a little bit that, you know, this year has been taken up by so much recovery, and I'm looking forward to a reset over summer, hopefully, and coming back strong. You know, I'm excited for our district, the idea that we're doing TK, you know, and adding that on. So I think we have a bright future, but I just want to say thank you to the staff and especially our HR. There's been a lot of issues, and these are the most difficult times, but I'm glad we have a good HR department that's able to handle it quite well. So thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments? No? Okay, thank you for the update. Okay, now moving on to the board and the superintendent. We'll start off with Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Well, I'm happy to report that the traffic calming on East Boulevard, led by one of our parents, is going to pass. It'll say they received more than 50% of the ballots, and I think 67% or more are in support of it. So I'd like to thank Melissa and Summer, I think Juan, I think Melissa will help me fill in the gaps on the names, but all those who joined in walking that neighborhood and making sure that that $90,000 project to keep our students safe passed. So as of now, it looks like we're good to go. But Melissa, who else? Did you?
Declan.
Oh, Declan. Declan, yes. Thank you, Declan, for that. And Summer, and I'm just excited that that's going to keep our students safe.
Okay, Mr. Neil Patel.
You know, I was reminded today that I think we have about 40 some odd days left, you know, of school. And I was telling my students, I said, hey, if we were a battery, we're at 20% charge left, you know, and it's been a really difficult year. You know, what else can I say? I just want to tell all the teachers and staff, you know, let's finish strong. I'm very proud of the accomplishments that we've been able to do together. I just want to continue to see this outreach that I keep hearing about and seeing through the shoes, through the bike campaign, you know, through bringing in counseling for our parents, you know. I think this idea of community school has, if it ever was needed, I think now was the time to have it, you know, and I'm glad that our district is growing to becoming that community school we all want, community district that we all want it to be. So once again, thanks to everyone. You know, I've been coaching and golf and the need for the students to make that connection with teachers and community, it's huge. And that's how we're going to come back from this. So thank you once again to the staff as always, you know, but also to our community. When I heard about what happened with the child getting hit and then finally getting traffic calming, that just, you know, it provided some solutions to issues we've always had. And finally, you know, we can address them. So thank you for that too. So that's about it for me.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Elvariano.
Hi, yes, since the last board meeting, I went to I think it was right the following day. We had the board meeting on Wednesday and the task force was on Thursday. So I was online and with, I think her name is Tia Maria, correct me, Summer, if I'm.
Tia Martinez.
Martinez. And she gave a presentation. First, she gave her own life story. And it was amazing, everything that she went through. But the program, or what she presented, was a deep dive into dismantling the school to prison pipeline. And it was extraordinary presentation. And I'm really waiting to see the next one because it's a continuation of it. But it's amazing. There's just so many things that one of them was, and I have it right here on my phone, that I was really surprised with. And it was, let me think here, or let me see. I think it was having a parent who is incarcerated suffering from mental illness and or substance abuse, adverse childhood experience associated with an increased risk of morbidity and mortality as adults. And it just gives a whole story of the beginning from childhood, how the children are affected and eventually grow up to be adults. But some kids are survivors. Some kids are they just don't know how to cope. They don't have those coping mechanisms. So it was a great presentation, and I really appreciated the enlightenment of how children go through these life events and end up in prison. So, and I guess Maria Martinez, she had her father who was in prison, and it was really a good outcome because now she's reaching out and educating all of us. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I believe that we're going to have another one. But thank you, Summer, for leading us into this project or presentation, but I'm excited to see. It saddens me. It makes me sad to hear about all of this, but at the same time, it makes me realize how much need there is out there with these kids. So, but thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Sarah Turner.
Thank you. Well, since our last regular board meeting, Jacob and Elva and I were here for Monterey County Office of Education coming and approving officially our new districts. So very exciting. And thank you to all the staff that put that together and did it beautifully. And tomorrow I will be at my second Monterey County Education Coalition meeting. The first meeting a month ago was fabulous and really informative, and I had appreciated the outreach from our elected officials in Sacramento back to us about what's really going on, what's the implementation of this legislation actually in the classrooms. And I thought that Dr. Deneen Gus in particular did an amazing job presenting to them what's happening here in Monterey County. I also attended, as Ms. Koenig mentioned, the Curriculum Council on Monday. I really liked seeing the representatives from all the different schools there, trying to get everybody on the same page about what's going on. I think there's a lot of amazing things happening in Santa Rita, but at one site you might be unaware of the bigger picture of resources that are available. So just trying to get everybody together. Hey, this is what we're doing. And Melanie had mentioned conferencing with parents about attendance, and I really appreciate that that's going on, because that's the beginning of everything. If people are not here, we can't help them. So I appreciate that focus. And as Neil said, we're in the home stretch. So thank you for all the work that's gone up to this point, and thank you for all the people that are considering gearing up for summer school. Summer school's needed more now than ever. So I would really encourage people, be brave. I'm planning to sign up in my own district just because I see the need. We got to take care of these kids, and we got to try to dig in for all that time that was lost. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So first of all, I want to thank the board for being participants in all these committees along with staff. I appreciate just all the different voices and kind of everybody making time. We're all volunteers, and the fact that aside from our board meetings, everybody still attends the different committees and tries to find different ways to improve our schools along with staff. I also did partially attend the workshop for the school to prison. I had to leave a little bit early because I had another meeting, but it's interesting because I had heard that a lot of the stuff before, but I think it's always good to have that refresher, and I think that's where kind of ongoing training is going on. So I'm really happy in the direction that we're going with our committee, and kind of the new direction we might be going as a district, and kind of learning a lot of this information and kind of changing our ways in a bit. I have been attending a couple of meetings regarding the West area, and I want to let the community know and staff know and teachers know that we keep advocating for our school district. We want to make sure that when that development does come, that we do have the funding for our schools, because we want to be able to serve those students that come into our districts. And just keep everybody stay tuned. We will be seeking out for your support in our next plan of action to make sure that we are able to advocate for what's needed to keep our school district strong. So thank you. Ms. Melissa Alderman?
Thank you for that. I want to, before I get started, thank Andrew Sandoval for not just advocating for our district, but our community by really working to get those traffic calming things in place and reaching out to us to see how we could help. Turns out that was a very momentous decision on your part to help advocate for our community, and I appreciate you, like our other board members. It's not just about coming in every couple of weeks to do some school business, but you're truly advocates for our community, our learning community, and our families. Our documents have been sent to the elections board, so our trustee areas will be established in time for the 2022 elections. We just got our confirmation on that today. And like Mr. Sandoval had mentioned, advocating for our school district with the WASP, reached out, had a conversation with another local school district. We're going to continue communicating with our partners on this and making sure that our voices are heard in this endeavor. and that we have the schools that we need for the students when they need them. We've had a lot going on. It's the week before spring break, which is usually a pretty busy week anyway. As I'm sure our teacher here in the audience would tell you, it's kind of the week where if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen, whatever it is. And so just keep, everybody keeping each other afloat. I was really appreciative. Our SRTA site reps met with Becky and I on Monday. Had some good conversation. We keep those meetings monthly so that we're keeping those channels of communication open. Every time I remind them, you don't have to wait for the next monthly meeting, if something's going on. But we also talked about sort of just getting some ideas, putting the feelers out there, and could they help with, do we want to try to have like a district, outdoor barbecue event at the end of the year or wait till the beginning of the year? And so they said they would help me with gathering some data on that, and I'll keep you posted. Also, the 2 middle schools are planning their promotion activities, so I'll get you that information in a timely manner so we can plan on attendance and formalities of all that, since it will be my first promotion series as superintendent with something going on at Sherwood Hall. So.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board?
Graduation in person, just nothing like it.
Yes, and I hope the data comes back to person barbecue. I know Mr. Patel has been promising to help check on the grill, and I would also appreciate the opportunity to help if
I'm positive that Chuck appreciates hearing about this for the first time just now. That I'm planning on, yes, tapping him for a barbecue sooner or later.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board? No? Okay. All right. Thank you. Do we have any public comments regarding non-agenda items?
Not at this time.
Okay. And any public comments regarding agenda items?
No.
Okay. Moving on to 9.1, approval of MOU between Concordia University Irvine and SRUSD for educational field experiences.
Thank you. We have partnerships with several universities, not this one yet. Usually these are initiated when somebody within our district is working on some kind of degree or certificate and wants to have a field experience in our district. And that's the case with this person who is working on a counseling PPS credential. And so we're always happy to have another university to work with. And so we are requesting approval of this MOU.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano.
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, item 9.2, approval of variable term waiver for Ashley Valdez, elementary assistant principal.
Thank you. Ashley Valdez is the new assistant principal at New Republic. Prior to hiring her, we ensured that she was eligible for this. She graduates with her administrative credential in May. And so this gets her through the end of the year. She meets the requirements.
I was just going to say congratulations to Ashley on your graduation. I'm sure looking forward to the end of that. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano.
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
And I had just noticed there's some personal information that's not filled out on the form, and I was assuming that was just to not make it public.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I just didn't want it sent off back
But we have the fully completed form in the office.
Got it.
I had emailed them about that too.
Okay.
I saw that too. Item 9.3, approval of new occupational therapist job description.
Thank you. Working with Melanie on staffing needs. Our need for occupational therapy services have increased. Often when a district has very limited need, then contracted services will come in because it's hard to staff a position that is less than full-time. But we do now have the need for a full-time position, and therefore Melanie has proposed this job description to meet our special education needs.
Okay.
Well, I'm in full support of it. I did notice the difference between contracting out and I understand, but as many staff as we can have here in our district is always appreciated.
Absolutely.
I so concur.
So is it the
Motion.
Okay, motion.
I second.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, moving on to 9.4, approval of new teacher on special assignments, special education, and MTSS job description.
Thank you. This is another job description that Melanie and I worked on with an identified need for a teacher on special assignment for the special education department, particularly to provide coaching and support to our special education teachers, as well as provide support to the SPED team as a whole. This person can also assist with the implementation of restorative practices, which multiple tiered systems of support is a part of. So this is going to help provide early interventions, success for our special education teachers and students.
Is there any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, 9.5 is the approval of the new position, one full-time employee teacher on special assignment, special education, MTSS job description for 2022-2023 school year.
This is actually for the FTE, approval of new FTE teacher on special assignment position. And I see when I copied the item, it still says job description, but it does request the 1.0 FTE. So I think that that's clear, and I apologize for that typo.
Yeah, I think that's understood.
Okay.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
9.6, approval of revised job description for school psychologist.
In reviewing the job description for school psychologist, as we have found with many of our job descriptions, this description was last updated in the year 1991.
Those were the best years.
I
You
thought it
know,
was a great year.
Late 60s, the late
60s.
80s, early 90s, the best years of my life.
I loved 91.
Yes, 90 was a good year.
Yeah.
A good
Um,
vintage.
So unfortunately, the job description does not match the current roles and responsibilities. So a new job description
It did
is
not
being
age well with time. Is that okay? Just checking.
So this is the new job description that is more accurately reflects the responsibilities of a school psychologist in today's world.
Motion to approve 9.6.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, 9.7, approval additional one full-time employee school psychologist position for the 2022-2023 school year.
Thank you. And this is my final item for tonight in conjunction with Melanie, it's ours, a request for an additional school psychologist, which has been a need that we've been anticipating as caseload has increased over this school year.
Okay, I just had a good question on the job description, because I know we have a current one. Does that affect as far as their contract or?
No, the number of days that they work is the same. They're still part of SRTA. The salary schedule remains the same. It's just really updating what their roles and responsibilities.
We're already doing anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll just say it one more time. I'm just glad the district is being real proactive in filling these important positions to better serve our students. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, item 10.1, approval of contract for 3 paraprofessionals.
Perfect. So that's me under Special Education and Student Services. This is a contract, just like it sounds, it's for paraprofessionals. We have been recruiting and reaching out and trying with all our might to hire in-house for paraprofessionals and have struggled. So this is utilizing a contract service company that we actually already have a contract with for occupational therapists as well. and they were able to do some really heavy recruitment, hire from other districts and be really strategic, and have been able to find 3 paraprofessionals. So this is a contract to hire and bring those folks to join our team.
Can I get a motion to approve unless there's questions or comments?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, item 10.2, approval of contract for IEE outside assessment.
Perfect. So this is a contract for an assessment to be conducted by a outside contractor that would conduct a full psycho educational assessment for one of our students. It's parent requested. So I seek board approval for it.
Move to approve.
Second, please.
Second.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to Family Service 11.1. This is an informational item regarding the national conference attendance.
Good evening again. Sorry, my voice is going to hang in there. So I have 2 informational items for you this evening. This is the first. And I'm excited to take our DLAC parent president, Sandra Rocha, with us to the national conference. The national conference is really important for our families to develop leadership skills. And the benefit of the national conference is that Ms. Rocha will have the opportunity to participate in leadership conferences in primary language. So there'll be workshops offered for her in Spanish, as long with simultaneous interpretation of all. And that's not always available outside of CABE. And we know that CABE really focuses on this, and this is a national organization that focuses on that parent leadership. So I'll be attending, as well as our parent liaison, Blanca Valverde, to support Ms. Rocha throughout that conference. I'll be presenting there as well, sharing the great work that we're doing here in the district.
Okay, thank you.
If there's any questions.
Any questions or comments?
Well, I'm excited that you're excited. I think GABA is a great conference, and I hope the following year we can have a lot of parents attend, teachers, and staff attend the state conference. Here, I've seen it at other districts, and I know sometimes money's a barrier, but I've seen that, Title I funding could be used for lodging and all that kind of good stuff, because I think the lessons learned there they're just so valuable. So thank you for your leadership on this, and I'm excited. And with that, I move to approve.
And just so you know that we also will have Ms. Rocha present to the board upon our return.
But we don't have to vote on this.
Yeah, it's informational.
Well, I'm excited. That's why.
Thank you, Andrew. I'll take your vote of confidence.
Yeah, one thing I was just thinking about right now, we were talking about recognition earlier, is I know these are also volunteer positions with, like, for example, the president of DLAC, and it'd be good maybe at the end of the year, even if it's not done at the board, maybe at the local level, just give them some type of certificate or presentation and just thank them for their service, to take on those type of leadership roles, as a parent and stuff. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Item 11.2 is also an informational item.
Yeah, so I'm excited to also be sending 2 members of each of our school sites to attend the School Climate Conference that'll be happening at the end of April. During the School Climate Conference, those participants will have opportunities to attend workshops around bullying, mental health and suicide prevention, student youth leadership and youth voice, parent, family, and community engagement, my favorite topic, as well as restorative practices and classroom procedures. So it's really an opportunity to bring together a lot of what we've been doing this year. And then those site leaders will come back and be able to share that learning with the other members of their team. So this is just an informational item. And again, we're really excited to give this learning opportunity to our staff.
Comments about the information item? No? Okay, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 13.1, approval of a CSBA manual maintenance March 2022.
Okay, thank you. This is our standard manual maintenance for the month of March. So we get these quarterly. And for this go round, most of our policy updates involved enacting new law in our policy, which we're obligated to implement. ahead of time, but this way our policies stay up to date with current law. And the other two items had to do with us adding which district contact was applicable for the policy.
At first, when I started reading, it looked really intimidating, but a lot of them were just citations. So it was kind of easier to kind of go through it and stuff. So can I get a motion to approve?
Oh, so motioned.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Elva Ariana,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody. 13.2, another informational item regarding the Facilities Committee update.
Okay. Well, like I said, I was going to, dive into a little bit more detail of what's been going on with our facilities committee, but I'm glad to say that we completed our third meeting, and believe it or not, we're doing a good job on creating the master plan of the facilities needs assessment. During that, at the first part of our meeting, we did a construction update on cameras, which I did mention that, now the IT department and the maintenance department is actually coming together and building up a plan on how to speed up the installation of the cameras. Also, I gave a construction update on the Gavilan View kitchen expansion and modernization, which, by the way, everything that you've seen at the facilities tour, it's all getting covered up. So because all the piping and everything is already done. Then a greater part of our meeting was the presentation that we had from Don Berry and Mark Finney with Sugamora Finney. And of course, we only chipped away at 2 of the sites, solely because this document's a little greater than 100 plus pages. So we kind of went into a little bit further detail on what is being identified, what association we have with, the needs, the repairs. And then we also really kind of focused on the categories of how they're all going to be, kind of met with the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. So I think everybody's grasping the concept. And since we walked everybody through that and the cost analysis, of course, Rosa wants a copy of it right away. We feel comfortable that we're going to be able to post this to all the facilities committee members. So they do know what it looks like, and then they can pick the site a little bit on their own, and just kind of, if they have a detailed list of what is not on the site, it's more for us to be able to do a comprehensive, like a holistic, really needs assessment. So with that, I think we had some good input. We did an update also with the subcommittee, and everybody's, kind of, getting their input on what kind of facilities for the changing rooms that we're looking for. Unfortunately, hey, we missed a couple bells and whistles. So with that, we're going to come up with some new diagrams and some new cost analysis with that. We also did a couple of other updates from the previous meeting that we've identified some other details that we need to add into the facilities needs analysis. So I think by next meeting we'll have our draft. Well, we're on draft number 2, and we're going to be on draft number 3. But I think I feel comfortable that now we're just starting to add very small stuff. So with that, if you guys have any questions, that's all I have for tonight.
Just as a kind of a refresher on, so the public knows, can you tell us again what the 1s and the 2s and the 3s are in reference to the sites and what's put in?
So basically what the 1s, 2s, and 3s is, once you have a complete set of plans, the 1s are more of the emergency repairs and, the needs that either cause a fire life safety, feature, structural deficiencies, or, something that's going to hurt anybody anytime soon. The number 2s are more of the, hey, we need an office. As a matter of fact, that this came up, and this is one of the topics that we did discuss, is we do have more need of office spaces for, special curriculum, somebody for, like the counselors and stuff like that. And now that we have, our assistant principals, of course, we need, more space for that. So those are the number twos. Can we live without them? Yeah. Number ones, no. But then you have a number three, which is, what I consider the beautification. I would like a neon marquee. Can we live without that? And can we, deal with it at a later date? Yes, we can. So those are the three categories that we're kind of like looking at.
Okay, thank you for explaining. Any other questions or comments from the board?
We did talk about lockers, the locker rooms, and I think there was a bit of a sticker shock as far as the price of those. I was, as Victor was explaining the 1, 2, 3 concept, and I was thinking the locker rooms are kind of like a 1.5. It's not an urgent need, but it is a need. It's part of educating our students. So, I know that the board has committed to moving that forward, and I just, I was shocked by the price, but I think it's much needed.
I know one of I also had sticker shock. I repeatedly, I think, asked that same question. So that's times 4. Because we would need a boys and a girls at each school. So that was times 4. And Victor slowly walked me through, yep, that's how you got to the $3 million. And so looking at the timeline, and I know the subcommittee, I asked that just to clarify, like, what kind of timeline are we looking at? And of course, that dollar amount, Rosa also would like a timeline. But looking at, even with DSA approval and how slowly that's taking, we're probably not having this conversation for August 2022, but August 2023. And so that gives us time to align the funding, do all the approvals that we need, so that when we're putting the building down, we're putting it down correctly. And that somebody years from now aren't cursing Victor and I. But just to keep that kind of perspective rolling and make sure that we're staying informed when we do these priorities, as it becomes where we're putting things on the 5-year plan. And like Mr. Sandoval, it's kind of like a 1.5, it's important, but it's not like the fire alarm that needs to be replaced, which that's happening somewhere. But right now, also the cost of everything is pretty inflated, I think is the good word for it. And turns out changing rooms aren't like just putting down a portable like this. There's all the costs of the lockers and things that I guess my brain wasn't really computing until I saw that estimate. But so just to kind of give our community the timeline, and I know Donna Koenig is working like with that subcommittee also on the things that need to be in place at our school sites and with our teachers and for our students well in advance of that. And so I think our intent is to do this as fast as feasibly possible with the intent of getting it done. But I know originally I was thinking August 2022, but I kind of had a dose of reality with our facilities committee where I went, so what we're really talking about is 2023 as our goal for this. So,
And I think probably what will end up happening is, and Victor's kind of more in tune to this, will be what supplies are highly inflated, which might potentially make us want to wait on that specific project, regardless of what it is, maybe an extra year, versus once we kind of see what materials are not as inflated and maybe focus on those projects, just sort of stretches our dollars a little bit further from it as well. But I'm sure that'll kind of get figured out slowly. So just something to keep in mind. If there's stuff that you see that's higher inflated than normal, then that might be something to, unless it's a number one, then we need to do number ones. Any other questions or comments?
Mr. President, I'm a patient man. I don't mind waiting another year or two if the prices go down. But my patience is limits. I've been here on this board for almost, God knows how long. Needs will always be there. You have to take care of some of the wants along the way. Otherwise, you'll never get them. And so I'm okay with waiting. another year or so at the and I do agree that cost of just today I was reading a report, lumber is going down 20-30%. So I think that's good news. I can see us waiting a little bit, but let's get all the ducks in order, so when that happens, we can execute. Once again, I'm a patient man, but at some point, I get frustrated. And so I'm just letting the board know, I feel very strongly about this as a coach, as a teacher who sees ninth graders coming in. I see hygiene issues. I see equity issues with other middle schools in our area, and with the new construction coming in. I want to make sure we're providing first class, facilities for our students to be able to compete and represent, Santa Rita and North Salinas. So once again, I want to thank everyone on the facilities committee. I know it's a very hard job, and like I said, I'm willing to be patient and wait until the market levels off a little bit, But once again, if we would have done this 5 years ago, it's always going to be more expensive. However, right now we are in an artificial, inflation, if you will. So I'm willing to wait a year if that's what it takes. But yeah, let's get the ducks in order.
Sarah, I think you had.
Yeah, and the only other concern that I had, and Neil's been talking about this minimally at least the 6 years that I've been on the board. So at least we're at 6+ at this point. The only other concern that I had is just that I feel like we don't know what our TK requirements are going to be. And there is some money available from the state right now in terms of partially, helping out with that. But it's just, it's a question mark that I think is going to be out there for like 3 or 4 years until TK is totally rolled in terms of, are the facilities that we have going to be adequate for what we're going to have to provide for TK? And if not, like, what are we going to have to do?
Okay. No, thank you guys for the feedback. I think definitely in the next coming months, we'll figure out how we can prioritize those items. Okay. Any other final questions from the board for the facilities update? No? Okay. Thank you, Victor. By the way, I'm very appreciative that the whole committee set up. I know, repeat that, but a lot of community input and teachers on board. And so I do appreciate that. Advanced planning, our next regular board meeting will be held on April 13th, 2022. And any suggested future board items?
I feel like we need to talk about what's happening with the solar. And I do understand that that might need to be a closed session item in terms of their legal ramifications, but I wanted the public to know that it is something that we're still dealing with.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning it. Anything else from the board? Okay. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn at 7:13?
I move to adjourn.
Okay, second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a nice evening.
And it went smoothly.